This is our shell scripting course. Before discussing about shell scripting, as we know, we are discussing about Linux operating system basics. Why Linux operating system basics means in order to execute commands, we need one operating system. Either it may be Unix or Linux. One operating system is required in order to execute shell scripting. Right? So we are discussing about Linux basics here. So because nowadays many organizations are using Linux operating system. On the latest technologies are coming with Linux operating system. And people are switching with Linux operating system because of its features. So we already discussed about the features of Linux. I'm explaining one more time. What are the features we have in Linux? Means Linux is open source. Source code we get along with the operating system. So operating system is free to everyone. And next is we can modify the operating system as per our requirement. If you want to do any changes in our operating system, we can do the changes. If we know C, C++ 100%, we can change the complete operating system because it is editable. Source code is editable. Okay, so first point is open source. Source code you will get along with the operating system. So no license key, directly you can install and you can use genuine operating system. That is one feature. And it can do multiple tasking. At a time, it can do multiple tasking. In most of the operating system, we have that feature. Multitasking feature is available in most of the operating systems. Here also it is available. And here multiple users also can log in at a time. At a time, you can work with multiple users also. Okay, so how to log in into multiple user accounts, that I will show practically. And portability, it can be installed in any hardware environment. A specific hardware environment is not required. Specific hardware components are not required for Linux. You can install in any hardware environment. And it works with least hardware environment also. If you have least hardware components, there also you can configure Linux. That is also advantage here. The next is scalability. Means single operating system can be installed in normal desktop PC to supercomputer. Operating system is same here. We don't have separate operating system for client PCs, separate operating system for server PCs. Operating system is one here. Same operating system you can use for clients and servers. That is also advantage here. Okay. So next one is no downtime. 24/7 it works. No need to restart the computer. If you do any changes also, no need to restart the computer. That is also advantage here. No downtime. No downtime in Linux. Okay. And next one is we have security here. And here we have security, more security we have in Linux because inbuilt IP tables are there. IP tables means firewalls. Inbuilt IP tables are there. If you want, you can enable, you can disable. It's based on your requirement. And next, it works with command line interface. So those who know the commands, they only can execute something in our computer. Without knowing commands, others cannot access anything in our computer. That is also one reason why it is secure. Okay. Next, for every user, password authentication is compulsory. Without password, we cannot log in into any users. So password authentication is compulsory to every user. So that is also one reason why Linux is secure. And next, it doesn't support exe files. No next finish, no auto runs. Okay, so many PCs are infecting with virus because of this exe files only, auto runs only. But Linux doesn't support this exe files. So that is also one reason why Linux is secure means. And we can encrypt a file by assigning password. In Linux, we can encrypt files, means we can convert into secure format. Data, our data we can convert into secure format, which no one can understand by assigning password. That is also I will show practically. Okay, and in Linux, there is no setup files. Here, you will get everything as a configuration file. We need to configure manually. If you want to configure any servers, you will not get any setup files like next finish. We need to configure manually in a file that we call as configuration file. We can encrypt that configuration files also. Okay, so this is also one reason why Linux wins. These are the few reasons why Linux wins. Okay, so because of these reasons, many people or organizations are switching to Linux operating system. Are you getting my points? Are you getting my points? Then
Yeah.
fine. And as these are the demo sessions, okay, topics are, I will share the notes also. The regular classes, once regular sessions are started, I will share the notes also. I will create a Telegram group separately for our batch, means for our sessions, and I will share the notes in the Telegram group. Whatever the topic we are discussing, for that I will share the notes also in Telegram group. Okay, so you can go through that. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. I will explain the concepts. So not only now, while doing the practicals also, if you have any doubts, you can ping me on the Telegram group. In the classroom itself, if you have any doubts, you can ask me here itself. And now I have some throat problem. Don't worry. Don't mind, first of all.
Hi, Mother Karthik.
Yeah, Karthik.
Actually, the link is going to be changed to continue same session classes. So, good.
Sorry?
Uh, the, the session will be continue same or it will be changed because I have done the payment for this classes line.
Karthik, please message me. Your voice is not clear to me.
Yes, yes.
Some disturbance is coming. You did payment for Linux or shell scripting? Karthik? Shell scripting. Okay, okay. If the link is changing, this is the demo link, Karthik. Once the everyone paid, they'll change the link. They'll give update also.
Okay.
Most probably tomorrow or day after tomorrow, they'll give paid link.
Okay. Thanks for the update.
So file system hierarchy standard. Once we install Linux operating system, along with the operating system, we will get some default directories. Directory means folder. In Windows, we call folder. Here we call directory. Only name is changing. Terminology is changing. The purpose is same. In Windows, folders are used for creating subfolders or files. In Linux, directories are used for creating directories or files. Same, purpose is same. Okay, so file system hierarchy means what are the default directories you will get along with the operating system. If you install Windows operating system, A and B are reserved for floppy. Whether you are using or not, A and B are reserved for floppy, right? It starts creating div letters from C. C is a primary partition. C is compulsory partition because their only operating system is going to install. So it is a primary partition. So after entering to the operating system, if you double click on your C drive in your computer, you can see some default folders there. Can anyone tell me what are the default folders we have in C drive? What are the default folders you will get along with the C operating system in C drive? Tell me. You all are using Windows operating system, right? What is there in your C drive? That is my question. Yes. If you open your C drive, there are some default directories you will get. I mean, default folders. These are the default folders you will get along with the operating system, right? User, Windows, so recovery, program data, program files, perf logs. You'll get this default. Same like that in Linux also. So there are default directories which comes along with operating system. Okay, so those we call as file system hierarchy. These are the default directories you will get along with the operating system. These are the default directories. Directories means folders. Okay, so what is the first one means forward slash. Forward slash is a parent directory or top level directory in Linux. It is a parent directory or top level directory in Linux. Under forward slash, we have subdirectories. And this forward slash is similar to C in Windows. I'm repeating. So forward slash, the first directory is forward slash. It is a parent directory or root level directory. Okay, so it is similar to C drive in Windows. Okay. And next one is root. This all the directories are under forward slash only. So the first subdirectory under forward slash is root. Root is the home directory for super user. Super user means administrator. In Windows we call administrator, here we call super user. So root is the home directory for super user. It means as a super user, you logged in into your computer and you are creating any files or directories. By default, the data is going to store under root. If you want, you can change the data to different partitions, but by default, the data is going to store in root only. Okay, so next one is home. Home is the home directory for normal user. As a normal user, you logged in into computer and you're creating any files or directories, the data is going to store under home by default here also. If you want, you can change the location. In Windows, not only in C drive, we are storing the data in D, E, F drives also, right? If you have partitions, you can store the data there also. Similarly, in Linux, root is the home directory for super user. When super user means administrator logged in and creating any files or directories, by default, the data is going to store under root. And home is the home directory for normal user. As a normal user, you logged in into computer and you are creating any files or directories, the data is going to store under home. Here one more thing is, once a user is created, it automatically creates a directory also with same username. Now, if you created a user Tom, immediately it creates a directory with the name Tom. Where it creates means under home. So when Tom user logged in and Tom is creating any files or directories, the data is going to store in Tom's directory, which is under home. Next is boot. Boot contains bootable files. Operating system files are stored under boot. Also kernel. Kernel also stored under boot up to version 6. RHL version 6. Kernel also stored under boot. What is kernel means? It is an interface between shell and hardware. So for this, I'll give points in our shell scripting classes. So that kernel also stored under boot. Sbin contains super user commands. The commands which can be executed by super user means administrator. That commands are stored under sbin. And bin contains normal user commands. The commands which can be executed by normal user. That commands are stored under bin. I'm repeating. Forward slash. It is a parent directory or top level directory in Linux. Okay, and this forward slash is similar to C in Windows. And next one is root. Root is the home directory for super user. As a super user, you logged in into computer and you are creating any files or directories. By default, the data is going to store under root. Home is the home directory for normal user. As a normal user, you logged in into computer and you are creating any files or directories, the data is going to store under home. Excuse me. Boot contains bootable files. Operating system bootable files are stored under boot. Sbin contains super user commands, the commands which can be executed by super user. Bin contains normal user commands, the commands which can be executed by normal user. That commands are stored under bin. USR contains default applications, applications which comes along with operating system. That applications are stored under USR. Var contains variable files, means system log files. It is like task manager in Windows. System log files are stored under var. how many users logged in, how much processor they are utilizing, how much CPU space they are utilizing, all the information. Where contains. Dev contains devices information, means partitions information. In Windows, we call partition, here we call device. etc contains configuration files. System configuration files are stored under etc. As I told, Linux works with configuration file, no setup files. OPT contains optional applications, which we install manually, like third-party applications. They will not come along with the operating system, but if we want, we can install them manually. That type of applications we call as third-party tools. The third-party tools are stored under OPT. I'm repeating. /, it is a parent directory or top level directory. / is similar to C in Windows. It contains subdirectories. So root is the home directory for super user. Super user means administrator. Home is the home directory for normal users. Boot contains bootable files and kernel up to version 6. Sbin contains super user commands which can be executed by super user. Bin contains normal user commands, the commands which can be executed by normal user. USR contains default applications which comes along with operating system. That applications are stored under USR. Where contains log files. System log files are stored under where. Dev contains devices information, means partition information stored under dev. etc contains configuration files. System configuration files are stored under etc. OPT contains optional applications which we install manually. Sorry. Media contains external devices information. Means removable devices information is maintained by media up to version 6. Okay, MNT contains partitions and their mounted directories information. In Linux, every partition is linked with one directory. Okay, so whatever data is created in the directory, the data is going to store in the partitions. In order to create, delete, or check the content of a partition, we need a mounted directory, linked directory. Okay, so this concept you will get in the Linux classes. What is this mounting? How to mount one partition with a directory, why we mount, this all comes in the Linux classes. So MNT contains partitions and their mounted directories information. Run contains external devices information and kernel information from RHEL 7. External hard disk, DVD writers, pen drives, removable devices information is maintained by run from RHEL 7 version. Also kernel also stored in run from RHEL 7 onwards. Up to RHEL 6, kernel boot contains kernel, and media contains external devices information from RHEL 11, RHEL 7. Boot kernel and external devices information is maintained by run. So these are the default directories you will get along with the operating system. Okay, is that clear? The function of the directories? You can message me, you can speak. If you have any doubts, you can ask. Is this directories are clear? Actually, in shell scripting means we don't use these all the directories, but in Linux administration, we use these all directories. OPT contains optional applications, applications which we install manually. Now, you want to install packet tracer software, you want to install TeamViewer software, you want to install AnyDesk, you want to install Maya software. Okay, you want to install something virtual machine. So that type of applications are stored under OPT. Applications which we install manually. They are not compulsory required in our computer. Based on our requirement, if you are installing any softwares, that applications are stored under OPT, optional applications. Is that clear, KK? Applications which we install manually. That applications store under OPT. Exactly, optional applications. Any more doubts? Reminding, is the directories are clear? Bin contains normal user commands, means the commands which can be executed by normal users. Like, see, whenever we log in into computer and you are executing something as a normal user, it will check in bin directory. Bin means binary. Okay, it will check in bin directory. So if the command which is executed by normal user, the command is available in bin directory, means it will show you the output. If the command is not available in bin directory, it will not give you output. You logged in as a normal user and you are executing super user commands. It will check in bin. The command is not available in bin. So it will not give you output like that. etc contains configuration files. It contains configuration files. As we discussed, Linux works with configuration files. So configuration files are stored under etc. Clear?
Oh, yeah.
And for this, I have the notes also. Once you join into the Telegram group, there I will share the notes. I prepared the notes also for this. So notes is there. I will share once you register. Every directory notes I prepared. Yeah. Configuration files are stored under etc. Like /etc/password /etc/shadow All the configuration files are stored under etc. I'll show you configuration files also in user administration. Not all the configuration files. User administration, for the concept user configuration files, I will show. Any more doubts? Then tomorrow we'll see how to install the operating system. Once installation is started, daily practicals will be there. Okay. So this is for today's session. Tomorrow I'll revise once this topic, then I'll go with the next topic. So thank you for the session. SBIN contains super user commands, the commands which can be executed by super user. The commands are stored under SBIN. MNT contains partitions and their mounted directories information. Which partition is linked with which directory? That information is maintained by MNT. As I told, in Linux, we cannot access partitions directly. No double click options. We cannot open our partition directly. So what we do means, after creating the partition, we'll give link between partition and a directory. Okay, so if you want to create, delete or check the content of your partition means we access the partition through directory. SKK, SBIN contains super user commands, the commands which can be executed by super user, means administrator. The commands are stored under SBIN. MNT, after creating the partition, what we do is we will give link between partition and directory. Okay, so MNT contains which partition is linked with which directory. That information is maintained by MNT. Done. So this is for today's session. We'll meet tomorrow. Thank you for the session.